Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Money. Guess what, baby? I'm a little bit sick. Has this happened at your workplace? Everyone's kind of got runny nose.
They shouldn't be in the office. That's my general rule. If you start sniffling, get out of there.
I feel like
you shouldn't even be coming in.
So I was in a meeting, and it was just in that room all day. Yeah. And one of the people was like, "Sorry, I feel a bit under the weather," but they didn't say in what way. I didn't know if it was like bellyache, headache, or whatever.
The fact that you are actually announcing that you're under the weather means that you should not have come in.
Anyway,
any weather, come rain or shine. Actually, come rain, snow, sleet, you shouldn't be here.
That was weeks ago, by the way. So I kind of got it from there. This weekend, I wake up, one nose blocked.
No.
One nostril is blocked. I said, I hope this fixes itself. It did not fix itself. Monday morning, I wake up, I feel like garbage. Yeah. I'm like, oh no. So I'm taking all these cold... I get up and the first thing I do, go to the chemist, buy Sudafed. Sudafed, sponsor us. I swear by that company. I've never not taken a Sudafed medicine and been cured within days.
I'm glad
no other medicine worked for me.
That is a sponsorship in itself.
100%. I went there, I said, give me all the Sudafed pills you have. They said, what about this one? I said, I'll take it.
100% survival guarantee.
Literally. Took 3 pills on the Monday. Tuesday took 2. Yesterday took 2. Today took 1.
You look well. I wouldn't have known that you were...
I feel like... Oh, Tuesday, I went into... Monday, I was like, I can't come in. I'm so sorry, I can't come in today. Tuesday, I went into the office. I was a bit worried. I thought, I'm going to be wiping my nose all day. Everyone's going to be sick. Get into the office assistant, also wiping his little nose.
I'm so sorry.
Wiping his little nose.
This is what happened pre-COVID. I remember the winter of 2019, there was like this wave of people just getting sick. Cold, flu. I was part of that as well. And we all came in because this was pre-COVID. Everyone was like, you know what? We have to be dedicated to our work. You have to work to the bitter end.
Yeah, and work yourself to the bone.
Exactly, and work yourself to that bone. But post-COVID, it was like people were begging you, do not come in. Yeah. So why are we 2 years later?
I took a COVID test.
But either way, you're not well.
But don't you think it's also crazy that we're all just getting like colds, little sniffles? No COVID yet.
I don't know. They're just not.
Where is the COVID?
The news is just not talking about it because they're too busy with prime ministers going through the washing machine like a revolving door.
Going through the washing machine like a revolving door. Oh my god.
You know why?
Because publish a book of sayings that is just you mashing up every single saying, every idiom in the English language. Shoshana will find a way to like accidentally thread together, and now it doesn't make any sense. No, but it kind of does.
It does.
Like, you know what she means, but also it doesn't make sense.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is like, Parliament is washing through these prime ministers,
going through these prime ministers like knickers.
Exactly, but also
put one on one day, chuck it out the next.
But also, prime ministers are changing like a revolving door. Anyway,
what's the pop culture news?
Let's just get on to pop culture news.
I'm feeling, to be honest, today I feel okay. I will not take another pill, I think. But my throat was hurting this morning.
Look, if you tell me you got COVID, I'm travelling soon.
I don't have COVID, I swear. I actually checked because I was like, I have COVID. I'm suing someone. I don't know who.
I know. Actually, when you have COVID, you know, like you feel it.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely didn't feel like COVID to me. Yeah, but when I had COVID, honey, I thought I was gonna die.
I just felt tired. I felt like not tired just for the sake of like, I haven't slept a lot. I felt like exhausted. I felt like I was pushing my body to walk. That's happened twice, and I had COVID twice.
I remember I had a fever. I didn't realise. I just thought I was hot. Yeah. I was like, what a horrible night's sleep I've had. I'm sweating. Yeah. And then my muscles hurt so much. Okay. And I was like, I can't move. Yeah. So the next day, I remember, that was a Sunday. On the Monday, I took another test. And it was like, you have COVID. And I messaged work. I was like, I've got COVID, but I'll be working from home. And as soon as I sent that message, my entire body was like, go to sleep, you flipping idiot. Yeah. And I did not do any work that week.
No. The whole week?
I didn't do any work that week. That was Monday, Tuesday. I feel like by Thursday, I was starting to feel better. Okay. But was still testing positive. I just had to sit at home.
Yeah. The thing is, when you start getting better, it's frustrating because you just see that faint line and you're like, Bruh, I'm well. I know. It's not one of those things. I'm well in Jesus' name. I'm well. I feel it in my bones.
And you don't want to be a dick because you're like, if I'm tested positive, does that mean I'm still contagious? In which case, I can't go shops.
Yeah.
I feel bad about ordering delivery. I feel bad about I can't go see my sister. I'm stuck in here, and I don't like that. No. I didn't like that. No. Lockdown was tough, but for me, lockdown, I was out and about living my life.
Oh, were you?
No, I wasn't. I was in a bubble with my sister and my nan, so I could go to their house, which meant I could go outside and walk. So in lockdown only felt weird to me when I would walk back from their house and the streets were empty. Yeah.
Oh, there was one time I walked into central London to pick up something, and it was Oxford Street was dead.
No buses running.
No buses. All the shops boarded up because they all lost business. And it was like a ghost town. Literally, you could have actually seen
it was like a ghost town. It was like a zombie movie.
Yeah, you could have physically seen like a tumbleweed like jump off and bounce across the street. That's how it felt.
You think that tumbleweeds jump?
In my head, they do. They jump as they bounce. Yeah.
Well, now that we've given you guys a recap on COVID, if you didn't know about it, it happened 2 years ago. For about 2 years, and
still going for some.
It will never be done.
Jesus.
It will never be done. And
I have to pray for those that are suffering from long COVID.
Do you ever think like? Do you ever find yourself being like? Do you remember when we were just in lockdown for a year?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't feel.
It feels
real.
like ages ago.
Does. But literally.
And it happened to another, not me, another Marnie.
Yeah.
Who was just in the house being like,
what do we do anymore. I think it just forced us to like reflect and review and like find ways to connect. We connected more.
Oh yeah, we did. We had some lovely quizzes.
Our girls, quote unquote girls group, caught up more than we did in person.
We got real.
Decades. We did.
Sometimes we got very real. Actually, more real than we would have ever got.
Yeah, I mean, I learned more things
than we learned.
That will be from a completely other
and we'll never unlearn them.
No, we won't.
They'll just be facts now that we know about each other.
Yeah, and that's...
Like in the dead of night, you'll wake up in a cold sweat and you're like, oh yeah, I can't believe X did that. Anyway, good night. Just crazy. And, sometimes I'll just be mind my business and remember it, be like,
yeah. Every now and again we bring that conversation, those multiple conversations happening, just like, rah.
So shall we go on to pop culture news?
I think we should.
I do this every single time. Every time I hear the stinger, I'm like... Sometimes I wish you play it a bit longer, the stinger.
I will. Yeah, but...
I'm like getting into
that
the
being
groove.
said,
and then cut it off.
It's a podcast. This is not an album. People go on Spotify to listen to podcasts. But
they also go to Spotify to listen to songs.
Yeah,
so why can't we merge the two?
Because it'll become
half podcasts, half songs. Yeah. Do new song every episode.
If we had the opportunity to clear music, then we just us go talking about our favourite albums and favourite songs.
Yeah. Anyway.
Completely different podcast. Sorry to lower the tone, because there's been quite a lot of things going on in pop culture this week that...
Some very sad
It's
things.
really sad news.
So let's just get straight into the sad news.
Let's just do it. Firstly, we want to send our condolences to Davido and his wife, who lost their child this week in Nigeria.
And they're at the so they've got a pool at their home.
Yeah.
And he must have fallen in a pool and drowned.
Yeah, he drowned. Yeah. So we just want to send our condolences to the family. It's a really sad story, and and
those damn pools.
No. And then to add to it, we also want to send the condolences to Takeoff's family. Takeoff is 1/3 of the group Migos, which also featured Offset
and Quavo.
Yeah.
So Quavo is Takeoff's uncle and Offset is Quavo's cousin.
Yeah, so they're all related and they formed the group the Migos, and unfortunately Takeoff
passed away
at the age of 28. He was murdered, basically.
Yeah, he was shot.
He was shot in the head.
Oof.
Or the neck. I basically, there was a video that was going around. I couldn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. I wouldn't watch that. I just don't. I just feel like that's so disrespectful to post someone's passing.
Yeah. Dead body on the ground. He was shot at a private party where they were playing dice.
Yeah, I've seen people tweeting about how like it wasn't a dice thing, it was something else, but the story, the sort of widely circulated story was that there was a disagreement over a game of dice and he was shot as a result. Which, I mean, there's, I guess, a wider discussion about the fact that, like, so many American rappers are killed. Like, that's how they pass away. Yeah. And that, like, that is almost a phenomenon. Like, what is it about this group of, like, entertainers that puts them in harm's way, or makes people feel like, oh, this is a person I could just shoot. Yeah. Not to say that like anyone deserves to be shot and some people don't deserve to be shot, like that, not at all, but like it's just absolutely wild that
guns are brought into the conversation.
Yeah, I guess that's, you know, the problem with America in general, but I really love Migos, and weirdly, it was BBC News who broke this news to me.
Really?
I subscribed to BBC News' updates.
Yeah.
I got an update and it said Takeoff, who's a third of Migos, is dead. And I said, huh?
Yeah, also because BBC is a publication. Not saying that they can't break news about hip hop, but you think that they'll be too busy talking about Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak and all the... I
was like, for once, news that actually that I'm actually concerned about.
Yeah.
You send me news all the time. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do with this information. But this, I was like, I don't know, it made me really upset because, one, these are artists that I listen to. Yeah. And it's always weird when you think about a musician and they've passed and you're listening to their music and it's like a sort of weird mind thing.
It's hard to say, and it's sad to say that a lot of rappers understand that career can be short-lived because of just the industry they're in.
So there's been a bit of two interesting things I want to talk about that like take the way that social media reacts to deaths. Yeah. And Leslie Jordan, who is an actor, died last week, I think, from a car crash. And immediately my Twitter and my TikTok were flooded with like just great videos, like people being like, oh, I'll never forget this video from him. And it was really nice to be like, this person really like made their mark on the internet, you know, and will probably continue to circulate for that reason. And I thought it was really lovely as well that when I found out about Takeoff's passing, those are tweets that I saw were like people being like, this is my favourite like verse from Takeoff, this is my favourite video of Migos, and Takeoff is brilliant in this, and like just getting to see like this person in a positive light. So that was one side of the internet. The other side of the internet, which I think is really weird, and I think requires further investigation, is people who go onto other people's pages to either be like, why are you not saying anything about Takeoff? Yeah. Or when someone is saying something, being like, you barely knew him. Yeah. So there was a rapper designer who went on Instagram Live and was basically like, I can't believe this shit. Like, my friend is dead. And the comments were like, why would you come on the internet and do this? Grieving your own time, like this is embarrassing. You're coming on the internet and crying. And then on the other side, they're going on Cardi B's Instagram. They're going on Offset's Instagram, being like, why aren't you saying anything? Takeoff's dead, you're not saying nothing. As if these aren't people that, one, schedule tweets, schedule Instagram posts, probably. Two, know this person for real and probably mourning in real life and don't need to come onto the internet and let us know that they're mourning.
They're literally processing it. Like, I think Offset was at that party, so this is very much in real time for them.
I just don't know where people get off saying to someone, tell me how you are grieving. Tell me how you're experiencing the death of your family. What are you talking about? It's got nothing to do with you. Yeah. When they're ready to post, they will post. If they decide to never post, they decide to never post. It's got nothing to do with you.
It's their prerogative, it's their family. You know, this is someone's life.
In the same way that people chose to be like, I want to celebrate this person and like, I'm feeling sad today, I'm going to share my favourite video of them. You could have done that. Yeah. Instead, you are going onto people's pages. Why have you not posted anything? Why have you not posted it on old posts?
I know. This is the life that we live in terms of social media where, you know, before, if you think about the 90s or the 80s or even before then, celebrity culture was very detached. You saw your celebrities in the newspaper, you saw them in the magazine, and that was your only connection to them. And then social media happened, and you know, celebrities went on social media because they wanted to connect with fans, because they wanted to build their leverage, their popularity, and then it allowed fans, quote unquote fans, to feel entitled to be like, well, if you're posting about what you're eating in your house, or doing a 40 questions on Vogue and show me the insides of your house, it means that I can be part of your life. It means that I can comment on what you do because I buy your music. I fund your lifestyle technically. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your friend. And I think that's what people think when they see celebrities. But they forget they're normal people living their own lives in a very public way. But to me, it just feels like there's this entitlement of certain parts of the internet where they think that they're entitled to say things about other people's lives. And that is the problem with big news like this, where people can't actually mourn because you have fans criticizing how you do things. It's just a world that we live in terms of social media, and even with things like TikTok, which I've only just started to get into, and people are just, they will just tell you anything. They'll be telling you that they just got laid off work. They'll be recording every intimate moment of their lives, because we are now in a place where we're fed by that. So it's just sad.
It is.
Honestly.
And I do feel like the one thing about the internet you can count on is like someone will take the piss out of anything.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult when you're going through something real to refer to the internet, because they will basically make you feel like everything's a joke. Yeah. All things are a joke. There are like TikToks I see that are just very morbidly funny, but they are essentially making something that is very personal, like always entertainment for everyone else. And like, I feel like I can laugh because I share in that joke specifically, but there are people who don't share in that joke who are laughing because, and it's like, oh, everything's funny, death is funny, life is funny, birth is funny. We will make jokes about anything. And it's a really weird place because you'll see the most sincere tweets and then you'll see the most fucking dark tweets, and you'll see people laughing at people, and it's just like, it can't, I would just say this, in this moment, this cannot be your reality. It never can be your reality, and this is a great reminder of how it can't be your reality, because when I found out about Davido's child, and I was seeing people tweeting like, why didn't they have a fence up around there? As if you tweeting that's going to be like, oh, do you know what? That solved it now, our child is alive again. Have a fucking heart sometimes. And you could say, well, why didn't they have a fence? Now's not the time for that conversation. It's not the time. And it's also... that they're going through every single scenario of what could have been. And then you have some idiot on the internet going, oh, let me just put my 2 cents. Keep your 2 cents. Me personally, that's you, innit? Oh, that's you. This didn't happen to you. And you should be thankful it didn't happen to you, because it's probably incredibly difficult. And genuinely, my thoughts are with Davido, his wife, his family, Takeoff, his family, Offset, Quavo, anyone who's ever met them, because like, to lose a friend that abruptly, like, it would be so painful. And then to lose your friend in public, and to know that people are circulating videos of his passing. Ugh. Like,
that was the most messed up one. And
every day people are showing you how they're nothing's off limits.
It's actually crazy. And I saw the news back to back. I was on Instagram, I saw first Davido's news, then Takeoff's news, and it was just like,
I saw a tweet where it was like Davido's child had been taken to the hospital, and they're like, they've not passed yet, so let's just keep praying. And then I saw Takeoff's, and then later on in the day they were like, it's not looking good. So again, thoughts and prayers with those people, and let's hope we get some, I was going to say some more cheery news, but to be honest, like, death is a part of life. And like, we're always trying to like remove ourselves from that. Like, it's difficult to think about. We don't want to think about, but it is a part of life. And rather than like constantly trying to rush to like, let's think about something positive, it's like, we actually need to become more comfortable with it. And I'm not saying that means that you don't feel sad about it at all. You absolutely will. But it's to know, like, it's to be like, this is actually a part of this thing. Like, the contract that we didn't realise we signed up when we became people was that at some point we won't be alive. And if you don't think about it, that the fear of it will rule you.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's my 2 cents on that matter, and yeah.
Yeah. Should we move on?
Yeah.
We're going to continue our review of Love is Blind, Series 3.
And we're going to keep being wild.
Yes. And now we're going to move on to our next couple, Matt and Colleen.
Right, where to start with Matt and Colleen? First of all, let's start with Colleen. Girl's been around the block.
Oh, God.
I don't think anyone's ever been around the block like Colleen's been around the block on this show.
Yeah.
First person was Brennan. She was feeling Brennan. She was really feeling Brennan. Brennan turned around and said, I'm feeling Alexa. It's a wrap. Colleen's crying.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Bear in mind, these people have been in the pod for a day.
Yeah. She also
max.
She realised that he was the best guy.
Yeah, that's probably why she's crying.
Yeah.
Okay, never matter. I'm going to start talking to Cole. Or she was already talking to Cole. She's like, Cole's my number one now.
Yeah.
Then they have that conversation as we referenced earlier where he was like, let's be real. And she was like, I want to be fake. And he said, I really want you to be real. And she said, personally, I just don't like to focus on like real stuff.
Yeah.
I like to be happy and fun. And he said, that's not going to work for me. And then she goes, well, fuck you. And then she leaves. So that's that one. Another one messed up. Then she decides, oh, it was Matt. It was Matt the whole time. I was in love with Matt the whole time.
I was like, who?
Number one, I was like, who? Number two, I was like, you're lying, you've never been so thin.
Yeah.
You are lying. You are lying to yourself, and this will come back to bite you.
Yeah.
They go to the honeymoon. Oh, they're all smiles, hugs, they're into it. Seeing the other couples, I thought immediately she was going to break. She doesn't break immediately.
Yeah.
Because Cole breaks immediately. And I feel like that's a bit of a boost to her ego. Like, yeah, bitch, I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
You should have picked me the first time.
Yeah.
The second time they meet, she finally has a little privacy with Cole, and he's like, you're super hot and you're who I would have picked. She said, I'm not going to lie, you know, in the outside world, I would also go on a date with you. And he said, you know, if we met at a bar, she's like, yeah, if we met at a bar. Cool. Cole sees, Matt sees this from across the room, doesn't come over. Later on, he's like, so what was that conversation about? She starts saying that, oh, Cole said I was hot and I said that he was hot. And Matt loses his shit. Matt has already referenced that he was married before, or he was in a long-term relationship before. I can't remember if it was marriage or a long-term.
I think it's long-term relationship, yeah.
Long-term relationship. One day his partner turned up and said, hey man, I've cheated on you. They took a break. They started to patch things up. And then she said, hey man, I'm pregnant with that dude's baby. And there was no coming back from that. So I'm assuming that woman is with that person, or she's out living her life, who knows. But that shook him to his core. He didn't date for a really long time. This is his first foray back in. And he has a lot of hang-ups as a result. Yeah. So he hears that Colleen said that Cole was hot. And it's just like, you're playing me, you want to fuck Cole, you want to be with Cole, and let's end this, pack up the stuff, let's leave, I'm leaving. Colleen is crying her eyes out. I found that whole exchange really weird, if I'm being honest. Like, it made me a bit like, uh-oh, is this George vibes from Maths, where it was like, that sort of weird coercive control of like, I'm leaving, like having the really extreme emotion. The other person is then so blindsided by how extreme your emotion is that they're just desperate to placate you. And actually the truth of the matter is that nothing actually happened. Yeah. Anyway, I also agreed that I feel like Colleen and Cole's conversation was inappropriate.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially when she used the word in real life. As if the life that they're currently living with their fiancé is not real life.
So on that basis, I was like, I don't know about these two.
Yeah. I
don't know who's right in the situation, but it doesn't sound like you guys are a good match. Anyway, they slept on it, had a chat in the morning, they're good as gold. We didn't see any of this, but they're good as gold. Go to the next reunion, they don't really chat. Go to reunion after that, and Cole seems a bit like, oh damn, they're in a good place.
Foolishness.
Oh, I thought this would they'd be in a bad place, I'm in a bad place, we can get together. That's what's happening. He has a conversation with Colleen, and I think she mentions to him, like, basically Matt found out about this conversation, he wasn't happy. Then he has a conversation with Matt, and he's like, the conversation that you think happened is not what happened. Yeah. She didn't say that she would get with me in real life. She's, like, if we met in a... Matt's thing was, she said if we met in a bar, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Cole says she never said that. I didn't bother to go back and rewatch that section to figure out what they said, but I do know that she said, in the real world, I'd find you attractive, and he said, in the real world, I'd find you attractive.
That's fine, yeah.
It is what it is. Zainab then calls him. What was the conversation? He's already now told her his version, which was, if they met in a club, whatever would happen, which is apparently not accurate.
Yeah.
So he just made up a story.
Oh, yeah.
That leads to Zainab and Cole arguing. He then goes back to Colleen and he's like, I know I said I'm over this whole conversation you had with Cole. I'm in fact not over it. And then Colleen's energy is, oh, why have you brought this up again? Almost the exact energy Cole had.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe we're talking about this again. This is fucking pathetic. I don't want to hear about it. She starts crying. Sort of deads the conversation. And I have a problem with this because it isn't fair, regardless of the intentions that person has when they bring something to your attention, to not to let that person voice how they're feeling before you jump in with, I don't want to hear this, or this has made me upset, I don't want to hear anymore. He's allowed to be upset. If that is what has upset him, he's allowed to be upset, and you have to hear that. And you can come back to it and be like, I totally understand that you're upset. I don't want you to be upset. For me, it wasn't anything. I didn't think it was anything. That's why I said it. If I had genuine feelings for Cole, I would tell you. And I don't. There is a way to reassure your partner. Colleen doesn't have the vocabulary to reassure Matt the way he needs to be reassured because he has trauma. Yeah. In the same way that Cole doesn't have the ability to reassure Zainab in those moments because he's a child. And doesn't understand whatever trauma Zainab has come into this thing. Because now she's got a chip on her shoulder about the idea that he's not attracted to her. And he has not been able to reassure her that he is attracted to her and that he genuinely loves her. And that was just a conversation between two people who met in the pubs and that had feelings for each other. Anyway, then they have this conversation and it's sort of weird and tense. You don't see how it ends. Literally jump cut almost to Matt's calling Bartiz. Where's Colleen?
I think that's beautiful editing.
It was brilliant. It was honestly the best thing I've ever seen.
Chef's kiss.
Bartiz is like, I don't know where the fuck your wife is, which is completely reasonable. Yeah. He's like, she's not here. And then Nancy says, oh, they went. Doesn't say who the they is. They went to the club. Sorry. Matt's then like, I've had it. It's a Wednesday night, he says. It's a Wednesday night. Instead of you to be at home with your boy, that's what he said. I was like, your boy? You're out in the club doing what? But he says, I'm coming over right now. You're my boy, I got back you. They then proceed to have the dumbest conversation. And watching that scene made me think, I don't know if I want my man to have male friends.
No, I think
because men be backing men to do stupid shit.
No, men should have male friends. I 100% believe that. But it should be sensible.
Therapists.
No.
People with degrees. I do not want my husband talking to an idiot. No. Because that conversation was two idiots spurring each other on. Yeah. Rather than someone with a sane head on their shoulders going, calm down. Yeah. Bartiz is there going, but you don't know what it's like to date a girl you're not attracted to. And Matt's going, I've been played before, I'm not going to get paid again. Bump, 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 bump. That's all they did. And there was still no answer about where is Colleen. We never got an answer to where's Colleen. Is she at the club or is she gone? Is she gone forever?
That's the beauty of this editing. Because also, they showed it up next and she's there. They're dancing together. So she ain't dead, okay? She's going to come back.
Anyway, Matt was he was like, I'm packing up, I'm going again. I'm packing up, I'm going. I will say this. The level of drunk Matt was that night and the level of drunk Matt was the first time he said, I'm packing up, I'm going. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Me personally, obviously, I think this is an important thing to find out about your partner. Yeah. What they're like when they're drunk, how they drink in general. I didn't like how drunk he was.
No. I didn't like how drunk I don't think I like how drunk any of them are. Because they all act wild at these reunions, and there's too many reunions. They're literally
way too many.
They're giving me.
They are purposely trying to undermine all these relationships by making them constantly meet people that they weren't talking to before.
They learned the lessons of Married at First Sight Australia, where they were doing a lot of sofa time or dinner parties. And
dinner party every episode.
The dinner parties were wild and causing so much drama. but it was making great TV, and they are really learning from it. Like, bring all the people together.
100%.
Let's bring all the couples together. Let's bring all the unmatched people together. Let's just throw them in, throw alcohol, and see what happens. And
I'm imagining Kickoff meeting about the next season. We need more reunions and we need more alcohol.
No, I want more love. So
no,
less alcohol.
Because that's what you can feel from this season.
Oh yeah, true. Oh yeah,
there
so
are more reunions, and people seem they just seem smashed constantly when they're having really, really big conversations about their relationship.
Yeah. And so I do believe, and I do agree with you, that it's good for you to understand from your partner how they drink, what triggers them when they're drunk, how they behave when they're drunk. Because we know people, and we've seen people that completely go from 0 to 100 when they turn alcohol.
Aggressive.
Yeah, they're aggressive. Are they quiet? Are they a walkabouter? Like, you need to understand.
You need to know.
You need to know. And
you need to know, and it needs to be whatever level of drunk you can handle.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm gone.
Yeah. But
literally, I'm
peace out. But the thing I was going to say is, I don't just think it's just alcohol, which is concerning that in that scene, or those two scenes. It was the way that Matt handles conflict. Because, yes, the conversation around Colleen and Nicole and Cole, and the whole in real life scenario that they were putting in their heads, that was a trigger for him from his whole infidelity and being cheated on in the past and his brute ego, basically. But the fact that he wasn't willing to talk it out properly, he just heard one thing and was like, I'm gone, I'm out, I ain't going to be humiliated, I'm not going to be treated like a chump on this show. Let me get my suitcase and
take
go.
my microphone
take
off.
my mic off. That was the first time. The second time,
I feel like he had a drink in his hand.
Yeah.
While this was happening.
Yeah. The second time he was already getting the suitcase opened, flat pack, clothes folded, ready to jump himself into that suitcase, take me back to Dallas, get me out of here. So this guy
is jealous, babe.
He really exactly.
You're there.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that anytime he's in conflict, he's willing to run away, just ready to shut down, close off, and not address it, shows me the kind of person he is in terms of conflict. And conflict management is so important in a relationship. And I just feel like that is as telling as the whole drunkenness situation.
And Colleen's inability to be real
has
led her to a situation like this because you won't have serious conversations with this man. You don't know any of this stuff.
No.
So when they have the first conflict, she's like, I don't want to let him go. I want to fight for this relationship. I'm going to show him I want to fight for this relationship. Fight for what?
Yeah.
You've known him for 2 days. Please be reasonable and look at the situation. If you understand, I did something wrong and I hurt your feelings, I am sorry. I do not want this to end our relationship. Fair enough. I don't think she understood what she'd done wrong.
No. Because, again, you can see by her response, like, are we back at this again? Like, of course, it's something serious. Had the roles been on the reverse, had the shoe been on the other foot, my girl would be like, you gonna do this to me? I'm out. They're exactly the same person. When Brendan was like, when Carl was like,
you're fake.
You're not being genuine. She's like, peace out. Thanks, Cole. When Brendan was like, I don't like you as much as I like someone else. She was like, okay, well, boom. Like, I just felt like she's also reaping the same behavior that she was sowing, and maybe they are meant to for each other in terms of like their similarity in personality, but this relationship would not last if they can't actually handle conflict.
This is another one that I just think is just flat doomed. There is no saying yes at the end of this.
Yeah, and also
it's doomed.
It is, and another red flag was right at the beginning when Matt is talking to the other guys, and when he's talking to his parents, he's like, I don't know if she's real. I don't know.
How would you know? She said now, famously said, I don't want to get real.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to have a good time.
I feel like she's going to flip on me. So you don't even trust her. So to me, I know Matt has taken time to take a break between his last infidelity or his last relationship where there was infidelity and going on Love is Blind. But I just do think that Matt does need to do a little bit more work. I don't think he's ready.
I don't think, and I think this is the thing, I don't think people factor in that, like, if a partner cheats on you, it might shatter your self-esteem and it might shatter your, ability to trust people.
Yeah.
And that you have to repair that thing. I think he thinks, I'll just find a person who I trust and everything will be good. No. But that person now has to be perfect, Otherwise, you are going to feel triggered and you're going to bounce from the situation. Yeah. And nobody is perfect. No. Like, you could be absolutely great for each other, and potentially you still see Cole and go, hey, there was a really big chance that me and you would have ended up together. You know, it was literally 50-50 for me. Yeah. And now suddenly you're telling me, I'm leaving. Yeah. Why did you say that to him? I'm not even allowed to be honest because I need to protect your trust in me. Yeah. It doesn't work. It's not good. Yeah. But my last thing on this, Kalina's a ballet dancer. I don't know if you know that.
If you did not know.
She's not done a ballet dance once on the show. Yep. For a person who opened every single interaction with, I'm a ballet dancer, do one plie. One plie.
I want her to do, she needs to have been doing what Raven was doing with the jumping jacks. She should have been pliing.
And the yoga ball, getting Bartiz to do that thing.
She should have been pliing as Cole was trying to
She said, there's a bar in there, we're going to do a bar class. Yeah, exactly. You better have your hair up in a bun because it's about to get sweaty in
You should be making all those ballet jokes like you are really lowering the bar for men out there or raising the bar for men out there, and you do that as you're raising the bar yourself and twirling around that bar.
I'm a professional dancer. Do one dance.
No, I don't know.
Sorry. Can somebody check if she's actually on any?
I think she's going to be doing some type of ballet in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be going to see it before I buy it.
But I think they really positioned Kalina as one of the main characters, and the fact that she kept on getting broken up in episode 1, I was like, this girl's here to stay, but I don't understand why. I'll be honest.
She just wants to be on the show
because I was like, your guy may not be here. It's fine if your guy isn't here. Just accept it. Like, the guys that you liked, they didn't like you back. Stop trying to beg for another one. It was really giving me pick me.
She is a pick me.
It was so giving me pick me.
She's absolutely a pick me.
I think it's part of the whole thing of like they go to the girl lounge and they see all the girls like, I'm engaged, and you're just like, I've been broken up twice by this point.
The thing is, some of the people that you're crying over, the girl that's matched with him stood right next to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Have some decorum.
I know. Actually, one of my I've never really talked about Nancy, but one of my favourites, not even favourite, one of the moments in the ladies' lounge that I actually want to use as a meme was when Nancy is talking to this black girl, and Nancy is there complaining like, I'm so stuck between these two guys, I'm trying to figure out what I want in my life, and this black girl is just sitting there just smiling and nodding and nodding.
Here we go.
Mind you, this is one of the comments I was going to use at the end, but I just thought it's worth talking about the ladies' lounge now. She just sits there and nods as Nancy complains about her dilemma of having two men, and this black girl has not. This is the first time this black girl's been seen on the whole show, and that means she's not been matched with a single person, and she's not had a connection. And this girl Nancy is there complaining. It's a complete side note, but it's just to show that the ladies' lounge is not just a moment where the women can get together. I'm sure there are some supportive ties, but it's very competitive, as we will see with Raven and the competition with Roy with Bartiz. It's very pressurizing because everyone is like, are you going to get engaged? Who are you speaking to? So for someone like Colleen to be broken up with twice, it's Brute's ego. And for her, it's like, no, I have to find someone. There is someone here for me.
I'm going to say my toxic trait is that if I got on Love is Blind, I'm not leaving the show without marriage.
That's the thing, and that's Colleen's mindset. And
I'm not going to be a girl that is just shown in the opening and you never see her again. I force it. I would have forced it.
That's what Colleen is doing.
Some of us are type A, some of us are Aries. We cannot lose. Jay Ross is an Aries on this show, and I'm so depressed about it. No, it's making me question myself and my people. Raven.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of,
she literally is wearing the Aries necklace around her neck. And I said,
really?
No!
The thing is, I don't know or do much about star signs, so you probably know more than I do.
Raven doing exercise while she's telling that fucking story and going like, it wasn't that bad, but thanks for sharing. I was like, oh, she's a fucking nightmare. Yeah. And then to see her wearing that t-shirt, I was like, well, suddenly everything is explained to me. Which is, it's like, hi, I don't know if you know this, but I'm the main character of my story. And I don't think about other people and how they feel. It doesn't make sense to me. It's that thing of like, I think she clocked something about Bartiz beforehand. And instead of you to just communicate that in a respectful way. She said, I'm not interested in this guy anymore.
I'm going to get
I'm doing
exercise.
jumping. Yeah, I'm stretching. I'm doing the splits. I'm bored. I'm bored. I don't know why the producers are making me come to this date still. But if I'm going to be here, I will say her. Anyway, let's
move to Raven because we're already talking about her. Raven and SK are our final couple. Continue.
Raven. So Raven meets Bartiz and there are immediate sparks. Yeah. They both like fitness, which honestly, that's a red flag.
You know those guys that you see and they're like 8-pack, 15-pack, 16-pack. You can see all their veins bulging out their arms. I'm like,
their Hinge profile just pictures of them in the gym.
Where are you on your day-to-day? What do you do? What do you do as for the hobby? What did you do after work? How do you unwind
before you went to
the gym?
Because let's talk about this.
What do you eat?
My cousin is 17.
Yeah.
And she was talking to me about how she goes to the gym.
Yeah.
And I said, 17, you're in the gym.
Well, how many times does she go every week?
It's once a week.
That's only once.
Shoshana.
Yeah.
How many times was you going to the gym when you were 17?
Did me and Jim see eye?
That's what I'm telling you. It's crazy to me to think that 17-year-olds, teenagers, are in the gym thinking we need to get into gym life.
Yeah.
I am a big age and will not spoil because a woman does not reveal her age. But I still don't have gym culture, and I never will have gym culture. It doesn't interest me. I don't want to be in a room full of sweaty people being sweaty. I would rather be sweaty in my own home, or I want to do a class where I'm distracted from the fact that I'm sweaty because somebody is telling me what to do. I don't want to be on an exercise machine at 11 a.m. on a Saturday when I could be at home in my bed. I could be eating a full English breakfast. That's the lifestyle I want to live. I don't want to be working out. It's not fun to me. Yeah. I've tried it in many forms. Me personally, the things I like, running, tennis. Running, I like because I'm by myself. And tennis, I like because it's me versus one other person. I don't want to be around people in my free time. I don't want to exercise around people in my free time. Ideally, if I had the budget, I'd get a personal trainer and I'd mind my own damn business. I don't want to spend time with other people. It's weird to me. So to hear that Raven is like, I'm a Pilates teacher, I'm like, okay.
And that's her brand.
And then she said she spends money on multiple personal trainers.
Oh, I missed that part.
Multiple personal trainers. We're just talking about her expenses later on. She's like, nails, multiple personal trainers, coffee. Oh my God. This woman is wild.
She lives a very different lifestyle.
Sorry, this is absolutely a tangent. Back. Meets Bartiz, they bond on their we both go to the gym lifestyle. But more so than that, she actually teaches a class. Yeah. Fitness and wellness is a big part of her life. She does a lot of facials, detoxes, that sort of thing. That's who she is. And she bonds with Bartiz over this at the beginning, but she starts to sense that actually Bartiz is the kind of guy that she's met in the real world. I hate the phrase the real world. Outside of the show, she has dated guys like Bartiz and wants someone who she has a real connection with. Yeah. Cut to her many dry ass dates with SK.
Oh my gosh.
She like meets SK, asking questions. What's your name? First of all, big red flag. Your name's SK. What does that mean in Yoruba? What does it mean in Yoruba? The letters S and K. What does it mean? He's lying. He's found a simplified way to describe his name to Americans.
Yeah, because, and unfortunately, that is what happens.
No, but this is what you have to teach people your name.
His real name is Sikiru. That's not that hard.
So hard.
Sikuru.
Call him Siki for short.
No.
SK.
Yeah, SK I think right.
SK.
Ru.
Just say Sikuru, it's not that hard.
Sikuru.
Sikuru is the same amount of syllables as like Shoshana.
Oh yeah, true.
And people be saying Shoshana.
Yeah, people do say Shoshana.
So it's not that hard. But he introduces himself as SK. She's like, oh, where are you from? He says, originally I'm from Nigeria. And then just the wildest conversation ensues. Side note. Obviously, because I am a black British, I have grown up with people who are the descendants of African immigrants or second generation African or even second generation Jamaican, where they're in touch with their culture. Yeah. So I can't imagine meeting someone and being like, I don't know what that entails.
Yeah.
She says to him, when she first meets him, oh, my two best friends when I was growing up were Nigerian. Smash cut to, they're eating pounded yam and egusi, and she's like, so can I eat this with a fork? Do I have to chew it? She's asking the most basic questions. Fast forward from there, she was like, oh yeah, there's just such a difference between American culture and Nigerian culture. Like, I didn't know they had grocery stores. I said,
I'm finished. What friends did you have?
I said, at some point, you have to stand up for your culture.
Yeah.
For you to be dating a person who didn't even realise that there was grocery stores in what did she think you guys were eating in Nigeria?
Dust.
You was actually chasing goats and lions and killing them and eating them.
Oh my gosh.
I said, it's enough
done.
is enough.
Is it done?
It's enough is enough.
Yeah.
Before I wasn't one of these people, I was like, anyone can date anyone. Love has no race. Now I'm like, actually,
no.
I want to date somebody who's not going to ask me if there's grocery stores in the country of my origin.
I feel like you need to have a different perspective of life to date outside your race. I do think so.
Oh, I've been asking me if there's grocery stores.
Yeah.
How do you think people get food? What do you mean? You genuinely think America's invented supermarkets and nobody else on the planet has a supermarket? Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself.
Okay, on the Nigerian thing, because I have so many thoughts about SK.
I'm fuming.
So many things about the SK Nigerian culture, and then I'll move on to Raven. Firstly, I feel like I missed that scene where she talks about the groceries.
Oh, it was in either the 6th or 7th.
Okay.
It was when her girls were there, and she was like,
oh yeah,
yeah,
okay.
no, there was like, there's lots of adjustments.
Oh, I thought she meant like she didn't know there was Nigerian
She
stores.
said, I didn't know there were grocery stores.
Okay.
There.
No, there's that.
And SK didn't just pack his bags that day.
SK wants a green card.
That's what his mum did.
Okay, that was one joke. If you're Nigerian, you get it. But the second thing is, all the betrayals of West African men.
It's 2022.
Yeah.
How are you still in the dark about what it is like to be Nigerian, Ghanaian, South African, Sierra Leone? No, you understand that these places are thriving, actually.
Yeah. No, but this is the thing. She's African American. Some African Americans are not as connected to the home culture.
Even more than that, she mentioned, my family is white, is what she said.
But
she said her family was white.
But
she said, I've never told anyone about this. I feel uncomfortable telling people that my family is white. I'm from the dirty South, she said. From the dirty South, my family is white. And I don't like to talk about it with people because obviously sometimes there are political issues, cultural issues. Yeah. I said, what? Yeah. This needs explanation. Yeah. What do you mean your entire family's white?
What she's basically saying is that she's mixed race, but I think she was raised on more of the white side of her family.
Needs to be discussed.
And that should be discussed and that should be explained. And I think they kept on saying when they got engaged and the first night while all the other couples were boning and having sex, they were having deeper, meaningful conversations while social distancing on the sofa because they were sitting 6 meters apart, one person on one end, the other person on the other.
Very Whitney.
It is given so Whitney and Duka. But they were saying
Whitney's hilarious as well.
Exactly. But they were saying that they were having deep and meaningful conversations about life and they just use the time to talk. So I was like, in this talking, and the way that SK is repping for Nigeria, every single conversation, well, my culture, oh god,
crunchy accent. He doesn't even have an accent like that.
He doesn't.
It's something in between American
and Nigerian. Yeah. But he's like, but my culture is about being Nigerian. It's about family. It's about the food, etc., etc. With all those conversations they've had, you don't think that he had at least given us some insight into what it means to be a Nigerian?
How can you? This is what I'm saying. I feel like in America there is collective African American culture. Yeah. And African culture, Nigerian culture, Ghanaian culture, whatever, is so much smaller.
Oh yes,
and that you, unless you know someone, have no exposure to it, which is the almost exact opposite of what it is like in the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot be black in the UK and not be able to make it very clear where you're from.
Yeah, and that's why our dear friend Kasia from Married at First Sight was like, I want a West African man. Like, she knew the differences.
Did she?
Well, okay, maybe she didn't know the differences, but there is an idea of what it means to be West African. I don't want to put them in a monolith, but just for the
earlier, we're very different.
For the illustration, we are. That's the point I was going to go at. The illustration of like what a West African man and an East African man, whatever, you can group it together, but there's a distinction. In terms of TV, especially for the last couple of months of us like reviewing these shows, these dating shows, and seeing the portrayals of West African men. You have a Kwame from Ghana and you have a SK from Nigeria. I have to be honest, first of all, I'm not trying to do a Ghana-Nigerian rivalry. But I'm not. But I will say that...
Say it with your chest.
I will say it with my chest. I appreciate that SK's portrayal of West African culture is just a lot more positive or very neutral. There is no love or hate to it. No! Apart from Raven's asking stupid questions like, do I eat pounded jam with a fork? Or fufu with a fork?
That was so embarrassing.
It was embarrassing and to me... I've only heard those things from non-black people when they've encountered our food. And it's understandable because everyone, especially if you're in a Western culture, you're used to eating with your knife and your fork. So to have
Wrong. Bare countries have foods that they eat with their hands.
Western.
But there's bare Western countries that have foods that you just eat with your hands.
Yeah.
You don't eat bread with a knife and fork.
Yeah, sorry, actually, when you have like a naan, actually that's not Western culture.
If you can have antipasti in a restaurant, you're not there with your knife and fork.
Yes, but it's
it's finger food
okay.
from the table.
Okay, yes.
You go to a party, you get sausage roll with your hands, you don't get fork.
Yes, finger food, but this is like a full-on meal.
Listen.
You're you're having full-on dinner with your hands. You better wash your hands because there's COVID out here.
I brought a friend home with me from uni for my sister's confirmation.
Yeah.
I said, this big weekend, we're doing parties.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold your hand.
I'm assuming the friend was white.
The friend was white.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold your hand.
Yeah.
Rice we eat with a spoon or fork. I personally eat rice with a spoon.
Yeah.
I'll try to get as much rice in my mouth as I can.
I think I do with a
fork. Is, to me, that's when you're in a fancy restaurant. At home, I'm using the spoon. I don't care.
No, it depends what's with the rice. If it's with chicken and stew, I'm using a fork because I really want to break into that chicken.
I respect that. Me personally, I'm eating the rice and the stew with a spoon. At the end, I'll eat the meat.
Are
with
you
my
kidding?
Hands. I'm not classy about it. I want the food to enter my mouth in as quickly away as possible. I said to her, and everything else, unless someone's giving you a knife and fork, assume you don't need a knife and fork.
Okay. That's a good way around it.
And I left her to it.
Yeah.
I left her to it. If she wanted a knife and fork, she could ask. I said to her, it's at your own peril. You might ask for a knife and fork for something, and my aunt might say no. And you better go sit your ass back down on that table and eat that food. And that girl had the best weekend of her life eating food. She's like, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like that. Because you learn by doing it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Raven's question.
Look at what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
If everyone's using their hands, use your hands. It's not that knives and forks don't exist in African countries. We have knife and fork. There are some foods you don't need knife and fork for.
Yeah, I think for her it was ignorant.
He didn't set it up for her
no,
properly.
He
just put the food in front of her and said, eat. Yeah. What do you mean?
I mean, SK could do some work, and I think that's something that they can grow in their relationship. Going back to the West African male portrayal, because I really want to land this point. I appreciate the fact that they're giving SK a really positive edit.
I like him.
And exactly, he's really likable. He's unproblematic. Honestly, out of all the men on this show, SK and Brennan are two unproblematic men on this series, which is surprising.
But I also feel like SK should not be on this show.
No, SK shouldn't, because why is my guy who's going to go and do his studies
in LA?
In LA,
we're trying to marry a woman in Dallas.
Exactly. The maths ain't mathing. And that's why I said green cards. So, to me, it doesn't make sense. That was one. That's why I think my guy just wants to have a wife of status. My other thing is, he applied for Love is Blind. He didn't realise it was going to happen. He also had applied for his masters. Didn't know that was going to happen. And then when he realised, oh, bro, I've got both.
Yeah.
I'll do both.
Yeah.
Because as some people, they just don't think
cash
it out.
money.
Exactly.
I'm assuming they pay them something.
I'm going to have the money to pay for my studies. You see? Win-win.
This is the thing. The conversation that they're having, I really am torn, because if I married someone and they're like, BT dubs, right after we get married, I'm moving to another place for 2 years, I think that would be a problem.
But that's also one of the things where, again, this is an experiment. They've only met each other for 2 weeks before.
100%.
But if you were in a proper courtship, you knew you were going to get married, you would have this conversation way before and agree, like, okay, where do we live? Do we do a bit of long distance for like the first semester while you get settled where you are? find a place, and then I'll come and move in afterwards. That those conversations will happen. This one,
I feel like the
just thrown
energy
into the deep end.
they're thrown into the deep end. But I was thinking about that, and I said, if I'd been with someone for like 2 years, and then they got their masters, and they said, "Oh, I didn't know how we're gonna do this, but like I've got to move to Manchester. I've got to move to Manchester for 2 years," and you know, ultimately, my getting my masters is going to put us in a better place financially.
There is that, yeah.
I'm going to have to set this up. Me personally,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to set this up. But we've already built a foundation, we've built a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like there's something there.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot harder when you are still in the beginnings of something for that person to get up and leave. If I was dating someone, not on Love Is Blind in real life, and within 2 weeks of dating them, they said, "I'm moving,"
I'll be like, wish you the best of luck.
100%.
So actually, now I'm deep in it. SK was foolish because he knew he will go on this show, and there's a chance he will meet someone, and then he still has to go and get married.
What SK was hoping for
Was that the wife will come with him?
was a woman who wasn't going to be like Raven.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Raven's energy immediately was like, "I'm not coming with you.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving up my apartment."
But the most bad mind thing is that she wants him to pay his half of the rent.
Exactly.
She's a joke.
I'm with you in that I'm not coming with you.
Yeah.
I'm not uproot. I can't. Not even I don't want to.
Yeah.
I just don't think I can uproot my life, come to LA and try and figure out how I'm going to do what I do here in LA. I've got my clients here. My business is making enough money for me to have the lifestyle I want. It would be crazy of me to now, when it's finally profitable, get up and move to another city where there's probably tons of Pilates classes, tons of teachers.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah.
That part, I was like, I'm with her. When she said, "You should pay for my apartment," though, I said, did you not hear he's going to do a master's?
He even said, "I'm going to have to downsize my lifestyle and my money and my expenses because I'm actually going to have to live as a student now."
And this, the most annoying thing about this was, he said this in the pods.
Yeah, he did.
He said, "I'm on my way to do my master's."
Yeah.
And you didn't have your money hat on then,
Yeah.
thinking, "Hold on, how does this affect my life?" You already have a side job.
Yeah.
So even that story about "I need to stay here," blah, blah, you clearly don't make enough money here as it is.
No.
You're not making enough money here as it is.
And
but you want this student to pay for your rent.
Yeah.
The apartment he doesn't stay in.
No. That was the point when he did a face where he looked at Raven, and I'm telling you, I felt so sorry for him.
Oh, I feel like much like Brennan and Alexa, money will be the issue in this couple as well.
I felt so sorry for him, and like
her
again,
friends,
oh my goodness,
like she's used to a certain type of lifestyle. I don't know how you felt about this, but watching it, I was like, I really would not do this for any of my friends.
No, God, I won't go on the show.
I wouldn't.
No,
as in, I wouldn't have the energy that these people have. If you called me up and you said, "I'm on Love Is Blind, I want you to come meet my partner," I'm not coming there being, "I'm ready to fight."
No.
I'd be like, "Explain."
Yeah, we're not going on camera. Just tell me this.
No, I'll go on camera, but I'd be like, "I'm not gonna have a strong opinion about this.
No.
I think it's crazy. I don't know you. I don't know him.
Yeah.
You've decided you've chosen him. So what I want to hear, because I know you, is how you've got to this place and what your thinking is. I might ask questions, but I'm not going on camera afterwards. Be like, "It's doomed.
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
That is not.
She's used to a certain type of lifestyle." No,
she's not a good friend. I wish tell your friend that off camera. You don't even know if she's told Raven, and I don't think they did, or maybe they did.
They were. Well, the energy was definitely like, "How are you gonna pay for this? How are you gonna pay for?" Raven's used to a certain type of lifestyle. Why are you invested?
But
and there are people I know who date people that I'm like, I don't get this.
Yeah.
Imagine if every single person who like, I don't get this, you were able to open your mouth and just say that to them. I've lost a lot of friends by now.
So for me, the whole West African portrayal, just go back to that point. It's because I don't want to let it go because we have seen some very poor portrayals of West African men on these shows, and for us to have this portrayal of this African man who is breaking a bit of his traditions, like he doesn't want to like have multiple wives. I mean, he's in America, he's not in Nigeria. His father had multiple wives in polyamorous relationships. He doesn't want to have that. He wants to have basically, I hate to say it, a power couple where he can contribute to the marriage and the woman is also doing the same thing. The fact that he is studying, that is part and parcel of the African experience, but
that is studying.
He's studying, yes, but the fact that like he picked someone like Raven who isn't Nigerian, which again breaks tradition. The mum and how welcoming she was.
Yeah, no, that was really sweet. I thought it was really sweet.
There was something about that again just a different perspective. The fact that we're eating their pounded jam. I mean, I know that Raven's comments were ridiculous, but it just showed a very like authentic but modern.
But imagine if Raven had been Nigerian,
experience.
Right? Imagine that she'd been Nigerian but hadn't grown up in the culture. They would have dragged her.
Oh yeah.
It's
So,
different for us.
I know. It's a completely different perspective. I think for her, she's like, well, she doesn't understand, and she's mixed race, so it's just a different perspective.
No, you have to treat us all the same.
That's for you to fight with the aunties.
I'm not gonna fight with my auntie.
But for me, that's why I was impressed, because the last big portrayal we saw of a West African man was Kwame, and that's what I'm gonna say.
Honestly, I think Kwame's portrayal was barely a portrayal of a West African man, because what did we see Kwame do?
Talk.
What did we see Kwame
Talk.
do? We've got to know SK more than we got to know Kwame. So personally, I feel like the flop energy of Kwame, it was that Keisha asked for a West African man, and they said, here's your West African man. His name's Kwame, that's enough. And it was that was it. That was it.
The most West African part of Kwame was when he came in Kente for the wedding. And his name.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
And then he was short.
Yeah, true.
That was the most Guardian thing I've ever seen in my life. I said, of course, that's Kwame. Of course, that's what he looks like. I mean, they could have got like a stud. They got the most basic looking Guardian man that you've ever seen in your life. One that you could literally go to Kumasi Market tomorrow and pick up if you wanted. And said, that's your West African man. Enjoy.
I mean, SK is also a bit of a short king. So I thought the red flag, not money, was going to be actually attractiveness. And so when the doors opened and SK and Raven saw each other, they walked up to each other. You could see Raven's face. The expectation was low. Low. But they walk up to each other and they hug. And I was surprised, for one, because I thought Raven was going to be taller than SK. That I was proven wrong. Mm-hmm. And then two, the fact that it was such a friendly hug, but there was no fire. There was no kissing. I mean, who can remember last year?
I do feel like people overdo the whole
Shane,
fire when they first meet each other.
Shane and Natalie was one of the most awkward kisses I've ever seen on this show. It was awkward, so awkward.
But Shane and Natalie, like looking back now, I'm like wow. Obviously a bad match.
No, so bad. We all knew it. They didn't. Match. But yeah, I was like, there's no fire. Then when Raven said, oh, the first night they just spoke, and then SK kind of confirmed, like, you know, there wasn't much touching, much, you know, being cuddly. They were sitting on the opposite ends of the sofa, talking. I was like, okay, another concern. Not even red flag, just concern. Then they have, you know, I'm sure the producers kind of like had some involvement with this, but they had a lot of like activities during the honeymoon to help with that kind of physical emotion. The massage. I don't even know what he was doing. His hand was just in between her cleavage for most of that moment, and then they had like other oils that were just left there for them to massage each other. Then they went into that pool. Yeah. And they're talking about, you know, before they got into the pool, Raven has said, oh, there's a bit more tension, there's a bit more physical tension, I can feel it. And SK was saying, yeah, similar thing, like there's tension. The week before they were saying that, you know, Raven did say that he needed to step up a bit on the physical attraction and provide a bit more razzle dazzle. I think that's what they kept saying.
Just put some
can music, yeah. You know, just like up his game on the physicality, like, because Raven came across like a sexual person in the pods.
Yeah, no, it's just flat.
Absolutely flat with the SK. So I was like, okay. Then they're in the pool. And they're talking, you can tell like the
She's
vibe.
Like, I can't swim, hold me up.
Hold me up. So he carries her. I was like, okay, cool. They're touching, like they're both in their bathing suits. This could happen. And then Raven is talking about, oh, like there's so much tension between us. She's like swimming around him, and I'm like, SK, this is your moment to kiss her. Like this. Kiss her? No. She kisses him. Ooh. I observed it because I kept on screaming at my screen. SK, she's giving you the signs. Kiss her, kiss her, kiss her. And he just was like, nothing. Then she had to lean in. And that is a red flag. That was a red flag. I was like, this guy don't like you like that. This guy doesn't.
Oh, you think he doesn't like her?
No. I mean, they've had sex now, but I just was like,
do you think they've had sex? Because she's not said anything. He said we had a good night, but then her comments were, I didn't sleep last night because you were being really loud, and she seemed really miserable in the morning.
Oh, so she did say she wants to wait until marriage. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So
I found that. Because I found that section really weird, because she said he was getting phone calls through the night from Nigeria.
No, that is an
Then
African.
he said
That's an African trait.
the streets was calling, and I didn't return the calls. So when he said that, I was like, what do you mean the streets was calling? Because I thought that was a metaphor that people use for when they want to go out and like they're seeing people they like but they don't do nothing. Then she says she's getting full phone calls from Nigeria. So
I think
literally was the streets calling.
I think the Lagos streets were calling. The
Girls was calling him. Is how
really?
When he said the streets, because if it's your mate, think about it, if I call you, you're with Bear and I call you and I'm like, I'm in another country. It's not like I'm asking you to come out and hang out with me. So how was that the streets calling?
I thought it was used as a metaphor.
That's what I thought.
But it's also a stupid metaphor.
She said that Nigeria was calling him. So what was the streets in the metaphor that was calling him? Because otherwise then he's implying that there was someone else who was trying to get his attention.
Please, SK, do not ruin the nice portrayal and the nice opinion I just had of you as a nice West African man.
He's going to the streets. The streets is calling his name. I was like, the streets, first of all, SK, what streets is
What streets are you walking down?
What streets? I have to assume, but what would make more sense is he's got a little girlfriend in Nigeria.
Yeah, maybe. In the village.
He's got a little girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's calling him from Lagos being like, what's up? He's like, hey man, I've actually got a wife.
Yeah.
Got a fiance now, so stop calling me, innit? No, allow it, because my fiance doesn't like it, because you be calling the lights trying to sleep.
I'm done. But
call me at 8, yeah? When I'm in daytime, call me then.
We
have a chat when I'm on my way to work.
What
are you talking about? The streets is calling.
Nothing.
Viewers, listeners, girlies. What was the name that I came up for the fans? Lads. If you understood what he meant when he said the streets is called my name, please inform us. Because we are not streets people. No. We are for the pews.
Foolishness.
I love how I'm aligning myself with like with the church. Like I'm thinking,
I was like, you're sitting in the pews, I'm in the pews. I don't know where you are.
I'm watching you sitting in the pews. I'm like,
but not in the streets.
What? I'm in my house, peering out my window, binoculars, being like, yep, she's in the pews. Love that for her. Love that for her. Pray for us, girl. Pray for all of us collectively. We're all in the pews.
Oh, God.
I've never been in these streets.
No, I don't. And, Raven does seem like she would have been in the streets at one time. But I have to flag on Raven. And going back to Bartiz, I was so impressed where she shut Bartiz down. So quick and so fast.
Raven, again, Aries energy. If you've rejected me, bruv, that's that for life. There is not ever going to be a day I tell you, no. Oh. I will act like we never even had anything ever. I'll be like, you thought I was feeling you. You thought I was feeling you.
Finished.
LOL, bro. LOL, I was just being Christian. What do you mean? You would never, ever hear those words come out. There is not one man on this planet who could ever come up to me and be like, you had a crush on me. I'm like, I never did. I never did.
Deny it. I would deny.
And then you're like, shout out to the Bible. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. I'll deny this till I'll be on judgment day. I'll be like, that never happened. They'll be like, Marnie, this is between you going to heaven or hell. Tell the truth. I'm like, I cannot tell you that happened because it never happened.
Finished.
Then they press the elevator. Guess what? You're going down. I'm like, do you know what? Do you know what? I'd rather be in hell than be with that person.
No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not going to be praying for souls. What I would just say is, I am very intrigued to see where this relationship goes. I have hope. I don't know. I'm
telling you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do our predictions now.
Let's get down.
Right,
okay.
Start
So Alexa and Brennan.
I don't know. That preview got me feeling a bit iffy.
I think they're gonna overcome. Yes.
I think Brennan. Yes. I think it's gonna be Alexa who says no. If anyone's gonna say no, gosh. I think it's Brennan. Yes. Alexa no.
I think they're gonna say yes. If they do after their Ulster special, I don't know if they'll be still together. Nancy and Bartiz, no.
Flop.
No.
That's 2 no's.
No. If Nancy, if you say yes,
Nancy no. I hope Nancy no.
Yeah. There is more likelihood of Nancy's brothers beating up Bartiz than them getting
That's
engaged.
more likely if Nancy's brother say no for her.
Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine? Oh, I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
I do want Bartiz to get his ass kicked to me.
Same.
He deserves it.
It really does. Okay, sorry. Do we agree who says yes?
I said
actually, no.
I hope Nancy knows.
Yeah.
Bartiz, yes.
Yeah, I think he's
because I think he's just in it for the
Yeah.
And to be able to say that he meant to the end. So I feel like if anyone is going to say no, it's Nancy saying, I'm worth more than you think I'm worth.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I think
they have a clip of her brothers being like, why did you bring us here to waste our time?
Yeah.
So I feel like that could go one of two ways, isn't it? It could be that Nancy knew she was going to say no, dragged her whole family there to say it, or Batiste is the one. But I really hope it's Nancy. And I feel like, if I, again, putting my producer hat on, the story that I'm more interested in is this story of like Nancy being shit on, gets to the end of the thing. And like Shake and Deep Tea.
Yes, yeah. And because also we have to remember like who says yes or no first, or who is asked about the question first, because they sometimes use that as a way to create drama. Like, because in series 2 we noticed that actually they only ask one partner, is it a yes or no? They say no, the other partner walks away. It's the end. So I do think if they ask Nancy first, I hope she says no, and I think it's probably clear that she will.
Like, I just don't understand how you could. I don't understand how you could be with someone and feel safe with them. Yeah. And I think feeling safe is such an important part of being in a relationship. When they've told you now multiple times that they're not attracted to you, and opinions that you have about your body, they have a problem with. Exactly. And not in a like the way that you said, I'm willing to like discuss this further, to reach some sort of compromise. They've not had that sort of intention towards you because their sister cried. Which one of us was having a baby with you? Me or your sister?
Oh gosh. Okay, Cole and Zainab.
Flop.
No, I. It's one of those things. I think
Zainab says no.
I think Cole says no.
I think Cole says no, but I also think Zainab says no because as much as Zainab keeps being like, I love him, too much is happening now, and she strikes me too much. Again, she's 32. She's not stupid. I just don't believe that she's stupid enough that she thinks he loves her.
I think Zainab's going to say yes, and then Cole says no.
I think that Cole's going to say yes, and Zainab's going to say no.
Okay.
Because again, Cole, I chose you. Cole is 10 toes down in this decision, and he has to be now because his parents are not approving.
Yeah.
I think Zainab is the only person got all of her wits about her that can be like, listen, this is a flop.
I just think that...
I don't think she has the impulse that he has to make this work.
Oh, no. No, okay. I think that Zainab will say yes because she doesn't want to have pie on her face and she wants to be like, I put my heart into it. I think Cole, he will realise with all the conversation and the chatty passiness he's been doing in this whole season that he doesn't actually like Zainab in that way.
He doesn't. So that's why I also feel like with this show, you're not allowed to X out at any other time.
No, yeah.
So I think, personally, I think Zainab has checked out of this relationship to some extent.
I hope she has.
That fight that she had with Cole didn't strike me as a... And when they were like, let's resolve it, it didn't feel resolved to me at all. It feels like this is just a continuation of a conversation we've had. From that first time where they had sex and he was cold towards her, she was like, red flag, I'm putting my walls up.
Yeah. Okay. Matt and Colleen. I am torn.
No. I think Colleen says yeah, Matt says no. I do not see Matt saying yes to this thing. He said no twice already.
I think they're going to say yes, both of them.
Okay.
Again, I don't think they're going to last. I think they'll be broken up before the reunion. So because there's a reunion and then after our altar.
Yes.
I think they're going to break up before the reunion. Or they're going to do like the couples from last season and release a message the day after the reunion saying that they broke up.
Yeah.
Oh goodness me, the stats are looking poor. All right, SK and Raven.
No. I would love to prove that like love knows no country boundaries, but equally I just think they're not a good fit for each other.
Okay.
I don't think Raven needs to get married. Where Raven is in her life, why does she need to get married?
No.
I'm not understanding the impulse from her. Doesn't seem like she's desperate to have kids. Doesn't seem like she's desperate to be sharing her life with anyone. She wants to keep her apartment. She wants to keep her job. She wants her independence. But she wants to be married. It doesn't make sense.
If I was her, I would have gone to LA and become an influencer there. She basically wants to be an influencer.
I'm sorry, she doesn't have the personality to be an influencer.
No.
I think this show's great for her because there'll be people who love how ruthless she is.
Yeah.
And there'll be people... I don't think anyone's watching this going, she looks like a great Pilates teacher.
Yeah.
I think people are watching it being like, she is wild. And I want to follow her and see whatever chaotic shit she does in her life.
So, SK and Raven, I think that SK's gonna say yes and Raven says no.
I think Raven says yes, SK says no.
Oh my god, this is gonna be so exciting to see. We have so many different opinions, but I think it's very continuous and it's very consistent that none of these couples are gonna stay together. No. Basically, because with each person thinking yes and no, it means that the couples are not gonna last.
Yeah, but it could be like Giannina and that dude, right? Like, he said no, then they started dating for a while, and by the time we get to reunion, they're dating, but he's talking to other girls all of a sudden. Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, I'm very keen to see where this series goes. After reviewing this whole series, I still don't want to like renege on what I said about being on Love is Blind out of all the reality dating shows. I just really would want to be on series 1 only because there was
time, babe.
I know, but it's one of those things where actually there's two things. One, I prefer to go on series 1 because it was a brand new format, new experiment, and no one knew what was going to happen, and so the drama that ensued was organic. And two, if I was going to go on a show like this, the minimum age for all the men needs to be 30 minimum. And that actually 32.
Yeah, a friend sent a tweet about that. I actually think I'm with you in terms of like if I was ever going to go on a dating show, it would have to be the first season of whatever that dating show was. Yeah. And so I wrote a script years ago about a girl who is going through. She's not very happy with her life.
Yeah.
And she gets offered this. Well, she applies for this job opportunity that turns out to be a reality TV series where you have to pretend that you and this random person we're going to match you up with are a couple.
Yeah.
You have to convince the people that we're going to set you up with that you're a couple. But the trick is, none of the people in this show are couples. All of them have been set up by the show. Yeah. And it's really a game of like who's the best at convincing each other. And also, if you have to spend time pretending to be a couple, do you eventually fall for each other?
That is true.
That was the show. And then like I was going to have it so like our main characters, like they make it to the end and they end up sleeping together. And she gets pregnant but they're not a couple.
Oh man.
And then going into the second season of this television program, not the reality TV show, they have to go back out into the world. Yeah. And now they're this like it couple from this fake this TV show where they were a fake couple, and what does that do to them? Anyway, it never went beyond episode 1, and I think I saw something on Channel 4 or Netflix recently that was a similar thing.
Oh
there is a group of couples, and on this group of couples, one of the couples are fake. They've got to work out who the fake couple is.
So interesting.
I love the idea of that.
The whole idea of fake it till you make it.
No, I love the idea of a TV show where it's like, I've watched so many of these reality TV shows. I think I could present a couple that was believable.
Oh yeah, because you know all the tropes. You know what they should say. You know when they should drop the "I love you" bombs, or "I'm falling for you" bombs, or the "I think I'm falling for you" bombs.
What would be difficult is if that person was a stranger to me. But if they were like, you can come with a friend and be like, we're a couple, we're in love. We're a couple, we're in love. I mean, I'm a friend who I think we would both be like, we want to win this game. Let's do this.
And it's just the game.
But I do not think for a second anyone would believe we were a couple. I just don't think people would buy it. I think they'd be like, how did you meet? And we'd be like, at uni.
Like, nah.
And you looked at him and you thought, yeah. And you looked at her and you thought, yeah. And then you guys, sorry, I cannot imagine the two of you having sex. And we'd be like, yep, we do that all the time. We do it every Thursday.
Yeah, nope, that's not.
Nope, that's not a real couple. Like, honestly, I feel like we could do it up, but yeah, if they were like doing any physical affection towards each other,
like,
that would be my biggest spell. Oh no, I don't want to kiss you. I don't want to kiss you. I don't want to touch you. But now we have to sit here and be like, let's hold hands. Oh, I've held hands before. That part be easy, but to be like
romantic,
even kiss on the cheek, I'd be like, I don't know if he's washed his face. And I don't know if I want to put my lips on that. Just for me, it doesn't work.
I just don't like the whole idea of faking it. That's why I'm always here for the love. However, as we mentioned before, love should be blind, but in this case, drama is sight.
Love is blind, drama is sight.
So we won't rate this series so far because we were going to watch it to the end and then do the rating. But I think it's a good time for us to talk about next week's show.
Ooh, baby.
Which
next
is another...
week's is a drama.
It's a drama.
About love?
It's about... Oh, goodness me. We love love. Actually, you know what? Love is Blind is not been giving me love. It's been giving me drama.
But this series that we're about to watch has been giving you love.
I mean, it's been giving me a lot of love.
Been giving her feelings.
It's a lot of...
She's in her feels.
A lot of feels. Deep emotion. Tears is the best way to describe it. Tears. That's what I told Marnie. I was like, we need to review this show.
Because I cried.
Because I cried a lot.
Not a lot.
That's what I
cannot wait to watch this simply because I don't know. The things that make me cry are very specific.
Okay. Well, that's why. So
there are lots of things that other people cry at. I'm like, why the fuck are you crying?
Well, the things I've also read a lot of reviews that this show is a bit of a weepy one as well. So I'm kind of glad because I don't feel like I'm the only one.
Of the two of us, though, you're much more of a romantic and I'm much more of a cynic. So it's like I feel like I won't cry at this.
Okay. Well, you won't let me tell you anything about the show.
I don't really know anything about it.
But
so I watch it.
I will let you, the listeners, know what the show is. It's called From Scratch. It's on Netflix. And it's a drama. And I won't say anything more because...
It's a romance.
It's a romance drama.
A relationship drama.
It's definitely a relationship drama.
Can't wait to watch it.
It's a series.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah. All I'll say, I won't say anything else. I'll let you watch
All I'll say is I'm not going to say anything else.
So yeah, we'll talk about From Scratch.
Okay, to be fair, are there any trigger warnings that you need to let the listeners know?
But I'm going to reveal this.
Just say what they are, I'll survive.
Is it a trigger warning? Death?
For some people, it's a trigger warning.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that the only thing that's scary?
No, because I think if I say anything more, it's going to be a spoiler.
Okay, kids, you're going to buckle up. We're going to watch the show. We're going to go in blind. And the drummer is going to be...
Yeah.
And the boys... Meaty.
Yeah.
And the girls, Zoe Saldana.
Sorry. Let me actually talk about the show. It stars Zoe Saldana and...
this is for next episode.
Yeah, do you know what? Okay, all right.
Listeners, as always, we are madly in love with you. We want to buy a house with you. But we want to keep our finances separate, okay? So perhaps let's sign a prenup. Just so we can protect our finances, you can protect yours. And it's not weird. It's just, obviously, some of us come from money and some of us don't, and we have to protect that. Our dad made his money the old-fashioned way, stealing money from other people. And we don't have to share that with you guys.
Oh my God.
You understand. I love you.
Thank you for listening to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Manny.
Bye.